Game number 3, as it's going to be Detroit and the New York Yankees. It should be very interesting to see what happens here. One and done. The winner will play the Oakland A's in the next round. Whoops, and I hit that, and we're going to go back there anyway. So New York and Detroit, Kansas City beat Boston, so they move on. And New York and Detroit will go there. So game number 3. Game 3 from Tigers Stadium in Detroit. So we're gonna just let it go and pick. And there it is. The Yankees will go Clark, Munson, Mercer, White, Alous, Svoboda, Carter, and we're just gonna go through. As the wild card game number 3, the winner moves on, the loser goes home. The Yankees in Detroit, now the best of 3. You're going to have everybody here jammed in here, and then a 7-game divisional, a 7-game NL and ALCS, and a 7-game World Series. So the first game is 3-0 New York, then 7-3 Detroit beat the Yankees, and now the winner is going to play Oakland in the AL Divisional Series. So we're about ready to go. The New York Yankees, right here you can see them totally different. You can see some in the background. Here's Detroit. Remember, Detroit won it in '68, and they're looking to try and do it again. It is kind of grueling. You never know who's going to do what. But game 3 next. So here we go. On the mound is Les Kane. Don't worry about what they show for stats. They haven't been the most accurate. But Les Kane will get the ball here in a deciding game number 3. And it does. 3 games really does the justice. Here's Horace Clark. Horace Clark will start off. And Kane, we're going to be underway, and that'll be a swing and a miss and a strike. So Horace Clark will start off not the way he wanted. You know, when you take a look at something like this, that'll be fouled off 0-2. The New York Yankees are, well, if they go to the next round playing Oakland, you never know. It'll be 1-2, just barely outside. Horace Clark in the series hitting .375. That's 3 of 8. The 1-2 struck him out, and that's going to be the first out of the day. So now it's going to be Thurman Munson, 1 of 8 in the series, hitting .125. That'll be on the ground. Picked up second to first, 2 outs. Norm Cash at first base. Yankees, Clark, Munson, Mercer, White, Alous, Svoboda, Carter, Kenny, and Gene Michael. And you can see the last 3 do not have any hits, I don't think, yet. Though those are the stats, not attributes, or just random things. So I wouldn't go there. Mercer 1 for 8 in the series. Make it 2 for 9 and a base hit. Mercer will get on. 2 outs have been trouble for Detroit. They've always had people get on with 2 outs. They've been pretty much able to get out of it. As Roy White, who's hitting 4th, will come up. And that'll be fouled off 0-1. Well, the Yankees would like, 7-game series are a lot better. There's only 1 differential between the lower and the upper seeds when it comes to games. the 2-3-2 format. That's going to be a strike again. You never know how history is going to pan out differently, as Roy White will go 1 of 8. The 0-2 to White with 2 outs. And that'll be fouled away. You never know early. Usually the control is better early. And that's going to be outside, 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes. For Roy White. And that'll be fouled away. So White is still trying to stay on. Les Kane trying to get out of this. Top of the first inning, 1 on, 2 outs, and it'll be 2-2. Detroit wanting really to get the outs, the pitch, and that'll be caught. The line drive is caught. We go to the bottom of the first inning. Detroit and the Yankees. Yankees got a hit, but nothing more. So Rodriguez, Taylor, and K-line. Mike Kekich. Kekich will be the pitcher here. Here in game number 3. The New York Yankees, and we're about ready to go here. Kekich, very good. Here comes Aurelio Rodriguez. As he's going to start off, Kekich will start to Rodriguez. We're underway, and he is hitting .250 for the series. The key for Detroit is to try and get people on base early and get a lead. That's going to be 2-0 on the inside. They want to get people on base early, especially at home, 3-0. They want to put pressure on the pitcher, and that's where really the home crowd comes in. Yes, you get the last at-bats, but you also, once you take a lead in the ninth, nobody can come back. And right down the middle will be 3-1. 3-1. And that'll be fouled away now quickly, 3-2. They would love it. Love it if they could get. Struck him out, and that's going to be 1 out. And Detroit will go down Rodriguez, and that's the out that New York wanted. Tony Taylor will come up. He hasn't had a hit all series, and that's going to be a strike. So 0-1 here. This will be the 8th of the inning. Tony Taylor. Now it'll be low 1-1. That's a thing. Tony Taylor 0 for 4 in the last game. You wish he had more. That's going to be a little looper. Caught and thrown to first. That's going to be an out. 2 outs. Rodriguez, Taylor, K-line, Horton, Freehan, Stanley, Cash, Brown, and Brinkman will be up as here in game number 3. Now we go to Alkaline, hitting .500 for the series, and that's going to be inside ball 1. I mean, he has a little bit of power. That's the thing. You can't go really by those stats. As Alkaline will get ready to go, and that's going to be fouled away. 1-1. They're trying to pitch around him. Alkaline, very good at what he does. He's got to get on, and they know in the first couple at bats, put a little bit of pressure. It'll be 2-1. They want to pitch around him. That's the thing. Al can take any one of these pitches and rip it away, especially in this stadium. The 2-1. The winner moves on to play Oakland. It'll be 3-1. Willie Horton will be out. That'll be over to left field, but right to him. And that's going to be a catch, 3 outs. So the New York Yankees get Detroit to go down 1-2-3, and we go to the second. It's nothing. So here's Felipe Alou. Felipe Alou, first time up today. And here's Kane, 13 first inning pitches. That's going to be low to Felipe, ball one. So Felipe Alou will be up here. That'll be a hard hit, but nice. This will be third to first. That'll be, oh, and it's away. It's an error. It is an error, and Felipe Alou will be on first. That'll be Rodriguez with the error. And it puts Felipe on in really something that was a great play. And they threw it away. That was not good. That's why you got to run these out. Svoboda. And that'll be fouled 0-1. So Felipe Alou on first. Ron Svoboda on first base. Les Kane, the pitcher. And that'll be low. Ball 1-1 and 1. Ronnie trying to get Felipe over. Nobody out. It'll be 2-1. Game number 3, the winner plays Oakland. It'll be 3-1 now to Svoboda. Alou is on. Alou on first, the 3-1. That's going to be a strike. Now they got to put everything to him. Let's see what they do. The pitch. That'll be a base hit, and Alou will get to second. Felipe Alou and Ron Svoboda. It'll be first and second with nobody out. And now Les Kane is in trouble, especially in a wild card game in which you lose, you're done. You can't afford to give up a lot of runs. Ron Svoboda loves it. And the New York Yankees, here is Danny Carter. Carter now. And that's going to be a strike, the sinker. Les Kane now. Carter hitting .333 in this series. What do you play, small ball? I mean, that's the whole thing. It'll be low. It'll be 1-1. Hendricks, Keller, Drummond, and Washington. Hendricks behind the plate. There's a lot of angst and anxiety, especially with 2 on. And runs like this are at a premium. That's going to be a hard hit, and it's fair. 1 run will score. Alou will get in. The question is, what will happen to Svoboda? They're going to throw it in. Svoboda will come home, the throw, and Svoboda, it's 2-0 New York. So Danny Cater, I called him Carter, it's actually Cater, has hit a 2-run RBI that barely is fair, and Cater a huge hit off Kane, and it is 2-0 New York. And it is quiet here. Here's Jerry Kenny. Hard hit right there. They throw to second. They get the double play. Nothing Cater could have done at second. Need the line drive, and now here's Gene Michael. And that was big because you never know when that run would have been big, like 3-0, and all of a sudden you win 3-2. That run could have been big. And here's Gene Michael, 143 on the day. That'll be underneath. Second to first. One of them is earned. That was an error, though. But Danny Cater, it's 2-0 as the Yankees lead the Tigers, and Danny Cater has done well. Willie Horton in the bottom of the second inning. As it is New York 0, New York 2, Detroit 0 here in game number 3. And that's going to be a strike there. Willie Horton, a 7-time All-Star. And here's the pitch. That's going to be high into right field, but foul. Quickly 0-2 to Horton. The thing for Detroit is they need base runners. And Kekich, they need him to throw pitches. That'll be fouled back. Horton protecting the plate well. Remember, the air really started everything. Struck him out, 1 out. And he will fly down, Willie Horton. Good night. And that's going to be 1 out. Bill Freehan now hitting .625. Freehan, that's going to be outside 1-0. Bill Freehan. Oh, I can't wait until we see a lot of the divisionals. That'll be good. Freehan, and that's going to be, what is it? He had a home run and an RBI. Well, his home run, he was 3 for 4 in the last game. He would love a home run now. Freehan goes after that. It'll be 2-1. 1 out, nobody on. They need base runners. Kekich here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. And fouled. Again, that'll be 2-2. Yeah, well, I think that might be Svoboda and right. The 2-2. A little bit and fouled away again. You know, I can't wait to see Kansas City and Kauffman Stadium as they try and stay to Baltimore. Baltimore, that'll be incredible as they're in Memorial Stadium. That'll be the divisionals. And this, here comes the pitch, and struck him out. The 2nd strikeout. He knew he was full. Doesn't argue. Freehan goes down, and he's probably upset with himself right there on the knee. And Freehan will go down. It'll be 2 outs, and Mickey Stanley at 250 will be up inside ball 1. So Mickey Stanley now. Kekich. Still nobody has been on base for Detroit. And that'll be a strike there, the curve. 2-0 New York. Stanley was 1 for 4 in the last game. He had a single. On the ground should be it. Short to first. And that's going to be the out. Cater playing first. We go to the 3rd, and it's Clark Bunsen and Mercer will be up, but it's 2-0 Yankees. Well, they lost the first game 3-0. Detroit did. Here's Horace Clark. He struck out in the 1st. But the biggest thing is now, and that's going to be outside ball 1. The biggest thing is for Detroit. They got to get runs, and they got to get on. A lot of people have said this is a time where Detroit should be competing for World Series, and they should be playing Baltimore for the World Series, you know, for the ALCS. Short to first, 1 out. But if you don't win this game, you're done. You didn't win the division in 72. The East was Baltimore's. So that's the biggest thing. Here's Thurman Munson. And the West was Oakland's. That'll be ball 1 outside. Now you got a chance. You got a very good team, but you got to get to that round so you can play Oakland. And that's going to be fouled off. That should be a very good series as Thurman Munson 0 for 1 today. Les Kane already 31 pitches, did not have a great inning last inning. Let's see if Rodriguez, and he throws to first. That's what he should have done. In the 2nd inning, there's going to be 2 outs. Bobby Mercer. Bobby Mercer 1 for 1, top of the 3rd, 2 outs, ball 1. As Kane starts it off. And Mercer 1 for 1 today.
1-1.
It'll be 1 ball, 1 strike. Fouled it back off, 1-2. Top of the 3rd inning. New York 2, Detroit 0. Kane, that'll be fouled away. Bobby Mercer, Les Kane. I kept saying Lorenzo Kane. I don't know what that would be, but here's the pitch. 2-0. That'll be on the ground and a base hit. So Bobby Mercer now 2 for 2 today, and he gets on. Remember, he had the only hit in the first inning. That was a 1-2 pitch with 2 outs. And here's Roy White 0 for 1. 2-0 Yankees, game 3. And it's the deciding game number 3, and it's 0-1. That's a strike. The 0-1. That'll be on the ground and foul. 1-1 now. Roy White 0 for 1 today. Kane with a lot of pitches. High pop fly. We haven't seen many of these. One in the first inning, and then it's just basically strikeouts and pop outs. But usually you want to go, your progression is ground ball to flyouts. It's 2-0 New York. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Cash, Brown, and Brinkman here in game number 3. There is some tightness. There is some not the best feeling right now for Detroit. Again, they wanted to get an early lead quickly and force New York to play back. That's going to be ball down inside and low. Norm Cash, an incredible 4-time Silver Slugger. And they have had nobody on base, and they know Norm can really, he's hitting .429 in the series. A strike there. On to the 3rd inning. 2-1. That'll be fouled off, 2-2. If Cash can get, playing first base, if he can get on, that'll be big. It'll be 3-2 to the outside. Ike Brown is on deck. Only 3 plate appearances in the postseason. Cash and a base hit. That'll be the first one for Detroit. So 1 on with nobody out. That's a single. And Kekich has to start feeling a little bit of pressure himself. You would like that buffer if you're New York for a while. You would. That 1-run buffer, but it's 2-0 now, so feel a little bit of pressure. Oh, down low and a strike to Ike Brown. So Ike Brown, he's 0 for 3 in the postseason, but he got the nod today. That'll be a strike there, 0-2. Last game, he was 0 for 3. Ike Brown, he struck out. The 0-2. Did he go? And he say he did, and Ike doesn't like it, but he has no choice. Ed Brinkman. That's going to be a strike. So Brinkman hitting .286 in this series. Kekich's 39th pitch. That'll be down on the ground. Picked up. They go to second. They go to first now, and he dropped it. So they only get 1. And there's going to be 2 outs. So a great play to second. That's the one you needed. And then barehanded. I don't know if that was an error or not. It might just be a fielder's choice. I think he might have beaten it anyway. And here is Aurelio Rodriguez 0 for 1 in the day. And that's going to be high ball 1. So Aurelio is struck out in the first inning. First batter of the game for the Detroit Tigers. Bottom of the 3rd inning, 2-0 New York leading Detroit. Aurelio, and it'll be outside ball 2. So Rodriguez for the Tigers. Tigers are nervous right now. I mean, you want to be professional. You really get nervous in the 7th inning if you're still down 2-0. And that's going to be a strike, 2-1. Kekich 0 for 1 in the day. Oh, Kekich 42 pitches. Rodriguez 0 for 1, the 2-1. 3-1. And they would like Tony Taylor grounded out in the first to get up with 2 on. The 3-1. Will Kekich walk Rodriguez? Let's see. It's a hitter's pitch. Oh, that's going to drop. Yes, it will. And 2 on with, oh, they're going to third. No, they're not. 2 on with 2 outs, and now this is scoring position. Down 2-0. This is going to be really big. It's a good thing you want to force the number of at-bats. And that's going to be Taylor. He grounded out in the first, and a strike. 0-1 with 2 outs. The pitch. That's going to be a little looper, and it's caught, though. And the threat ends. And we go to the 4th inning. It's 2-0 still New York. So Alou, he's 0 for 1 because he reached on a terrible throwing error by Rodriguez. I don't want to say it started things going wrong in that inning, but it certainly helped. It's going to be 1-0 as Les Kane. You never know with the Yankees. Later on in the 70s, they were good. They made the World Series in 76, 77, and 78, I believe. That'll be fouled off. Losing in 76, winning in 77, and winning in 78. And then 79, they didn't do it. So they made the World Series 3 in a row in a few years. They have some of the core here. But it still would be a small upset if they got on. This will be short. Should be the first, 1 out. And that's going to be a good play. As you can see right here, he is fast. Felipe is fast, which means you got to rush your mechanics, but you still got him by step, and that's Brinkman, who's the shortstop. Here is Ronnie now, 1 for 1, and that'll be a base hit. So Svoboda is going to be 2 for 2 on the day.
The batter, number 10.
Danny Carter, 1 for 1. Cater. I keep saying Cater, he's first base. He had a double. He had both RBIs in the game. Top of the 4th inning. At any second now, the inning could end because of a double play. That'll be fouled off. He hit that where he hit the 2-run RBI. Cater in the last game was 1 for 3. Today he's 1 for 1. And his last at-bat is showing on the scoreboard. High and deep to left field. This one is back, and Cater has just hit a 2-run home run. He has all 4 RBIs in the game, and Danny Cater makes it 4-0. I don't think I've ever heard of Danny Cater before today. And now he has all 4 runs, and they have a 4-0 lead. And Detroit is shell-shocked right now. Danny Cater, 2 at-bats, 2 for 2, a double, a home run, and 4 RBI. And Danny Cater, an upper deck home run. Les Kane now, 1 out. That'll be ball down and outside. Jerry Kenny lined out in the second. The home run. A big home run. Out of
Leading up for the Tigers, the right field, number 6.
Willie Horton is up 0 for 1. And that'll be up the middle on a base hit, so they get runners on. And they're starting to get runners on. That's what they're starting to do. They're starting to get runners on. And they had nobody on. The first 6 batters were out. And now they're starting to get runners on. So the last couple innings, but they got to get them in. Here's Bill Freehan. Bottom of the 4th inning, it's 4-0 New York. And that's going to be high ball 1. So if the New York Yankees end up winning this game, Danny Cater, who I call Carter the whole time, you can thank him. Unbelievable. That'll be over to right field and foul. So Bill Freehan, they're looking for a Danny Cater type player. High pop fly, but this one could be caught. And it is 2 outs. Bottom of the 4th inning, and good catch here by right field. Here's Mickey Stanley now. Mickey Stanley grounded out in the 2nd inning. 4-0 game. And that's going to be low. Be 1-0. Mickey Stanley would love it if he could just get a big base hit here and get something going, and that's going to be a strike.
1 ball, 1 strike.
At 4-0. The pitch. That'll be underneath, and that's easy. Well, we go to the 5th. Danny Cater, number 10. With all the RBIs in this game.
Leading off the 2nd baseman,
Horace Clark now. That'll be fouled off. Horace Clark for the New York Yankees. Clark to left field, and that's going to be caught, a basket catch. 1 out. Here's Thurman. He grounded out twice. The catcher, I don't know where he is today. He can play many different things. Les Kane, over 50 pitches. That's going to be a strike, 0-1 to change up. Last game, Munson was 0 for 4, and today he's 0 for 2, not having the best as series is. That'll be on the ground, a long throw, 2 outs. They get him very easy. Thurman looking good. As you take a look, Bobby Mercer, 2 singles. He's 2 for 2 today in the top of the 5th. And here's Lorenzo. And he'll be through. No, what a catch by Taylor, the 2nd baseman. And that's going to be it. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. New York 4 and Detroit 0.
Leading up for the Tigers, the first baseman,
Cash, Brown, and Brinkman will be up. Norm Cash high and inside, ball one. Norm Cash with the Pirates, Brewers or the Braves, I don't know. In Detroit. But right now he's with Detroit. That's going to be high to right field. This one is back. This might be gone. It is caught though. It is caught in right field. And one out. Here's Ike Brown. This is 1972. I'm not sure whether I put 71 or 72 on this. And it's going to be ball one. 1-0. That'll be on the ground and a base hit for Ike Brown. And Ike Brown here in the bottom of the fifth. They get a base runner again. Detroit getting base runners. But they got to get him in. And Mike Hekich knows this is big. Ed Brinkman now. Ed Brinkman, who's the shortstop, and doing a good job here today. That'll might be a double play. Let's see. 6, 4, 3, and they get him. I'm telling you right now, there's panic in Detroit. The 6-4-3, and it's 4-0 Yankees.
Now for the Tigers,
Dean Chance. He's the new pitcher. He's going to be in, and they've got to stop. They got to make sure that the Yankees do not get anything. If the Yankees get any run, and that's what the Yankees want to do. They want to play small ball, so it's not a grand, it's more than just a grand slam. And that's going to be a base hit. Dean Chance gives up a single here. That's not what they wanted to do.
the batter, number 24.
That's going to be tough. Felipe Alou now, 0 for 2. Throw back to first, he's going to be safe. Felipe got on with an error, and then he was out the last time. And Brinkman at shortstop had a good, last time, had a good play to throw him out. So he grounded out. He did score a run because he got on because of the error early. So he's technically 0 for 2, but he did get on base and score a run. They're going to go to second off the steal, and they're going to get him an out. I don't know why. Maybe they don't trust Alou. But there's the steal, and this is a big-time play. And here's Alou. Fouls that off, 0-2. A lot of it. You wonder. 1-2 now. Chance is coming in. Dean Chance. 1 out. Usually the rule is you let the batters make the outs, the first couple outs, when you have a new pitcher in. You don't. I know they're trying to play small ball, but you don't make, a pitcher especially who just gave up a hit, struck him out, and that's going to be 2 outs. You could have let that go, 1 on with 1 out, and then maybe stole here. But here's Ron Swoboda, and he has 2 singles, and he also scored twice. He was on base and knocked in by Cater. And then twice. Cater knocked him in twice. So the 1-0, Swoboda, that'll be on the ground. That'll end his streak. Cater will come up with nobody on. But we go to the bottom of the 6th, Detroit. They have to be smart here. Here comes New York now. Rodriguez is first. Bottom of the 6th inning. There is panic here if they can't get on. Kekic. Ball 1.
1-0.
Bullpen, Wasilewski and Acker. Wasilewski and Acker are in. So Rodriguez wants to be able to get on. Swing and a miss there.
1-1.
Detroit the last couple innings have got people on base. They just don't have got it. They haven't been able to get them in. Kekic. Swing and a miss there. That's going to be 1-2. This will be his 68th pitch coming up in the bottom of the 6th. Efficient. One for 2 today. High pop fly, center field. And underneath should be an out, and it is 1 out. So Rodriguez goes down, bottom of the 6th inning. You can see nobody on. Here's Tony Taylor. He lined out and grounded out. Line out and a ground out, and that's going to be a ball outside. 1-0.
1 ball, no strike. That's the ball.
Low, 2-0.
Outside, that's the ball.
3-0 now to Tony Taylor. Alkaline will be up. Who lined out and grounded out. Just in opposite order. And that'll be 3-1. He took that one. Kekic, they wanted to see. Test him a little bit on 3-0s. And it'll be 3-2. He thought it was a ball, and he started to go, and not that can destroy an at-bat when that happens. Struck him out, and that happens. Taylor, of course, when you think it's ball 4, you got to reset, and you don't get, I mean, that was difficult. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th, nobody on. Here's Al Kaline. And here's Al. That'll be on the ground. Should be the end of the inning, and it is. That would have been a double play anyway had he walked. 4-0, we go to the 7th. Cater, Kenny, and Michael. Difficult here. Danny Cater, 2 for 2, a home run, a double, 4 RBI. All 4 runs have been because of Cater. All of them. And Dean Chance, 9 pitches last inning. He comes in for the 7th. And that'll be fouled. Oh, what a catch by the ball boy. That's incredible there. 1 error on the day. That was Rodriguez, a throwing error. But you can't blame him if you lose a game 4-0. 1-1. Cater his last time up. Hit a 400-foot shot. And this one should be caught. And that'll be caught, 1 out. Here's Jerry Kenny, flew out, lined out. That'll be on the ground. He missed time. This, he'll be short the first 2 outs. You know, New York, you gotta wonder about New York. They had a couple good moments, but right now here's Gene Michael, 0 for 2. And that's going to be inside ball 1. They had a couple good moments, but I'm telling you, they haven't really looked the best. I mean, Detroit has got people on. Now, they haven't in the last couple innings, but 3 innings, Detroit got people on, but they haven't had the big bat. High pop fly to left field. And underneath, and we're going to go to the bottom of the 7th. Who knows? Detroit might be able to get people in. It's 4-0 Yankees.
Leading up for the Tigers.
Willie Horton now, singled in the fourth. And Kekich. And that'll be a strike. As Willie, 1 for 2 today. That'll be right, a line drive, 1 out. And that hurts. That really hurts. Willie Horton was hoping to get on so that they could do something. And here's Bill Freehan. Strikeout and a flyout. 0 for 2. Fouled it off, 0-1. Bottom of the 7th inning. There's a strike there, quickly 0-2. Look at the pitch count. In the 3rd inning, he had a lot, but then he just absolutely, right now, looking good here. That'll be 1-2 inside. Ever since that 3rd inning, Detroit kind of got a couple people on, and that's a base hit. Well, they go to second. Freehan will get on with a single. So 1 on with 1 out, and the first base hit for a while. Bottom of the 7th inning, 1 on, 1 out. Mickey Stanley, 0 for 2 today. Low ball 1. Kekich wondering, they got people in the bullpen warming up. Sometimes a base hit like that gives confidence that somebody who's been good all day is starting to get a little weaker. 0 for 2, Mickey Stanley. And that's going to be fall down below, 2-0, bottom of the 7th inning. Mickey Stanley, 0 for 2, Mike Kekich. Here's the pitch. That's going to be maybe hit the ground. Let's see, it's going to be way back and caught. And let's see what happens here. They throw it in, still staying at first is Freehan. It's going to be 2 outs. I'll tell you what, Detroit wants at least a run here. Here's Norm Cash. They got to be careful with Norm. They got to be careful. Down below, 1-0. As Norm Cash 1 for 2 on the day. Kekich's 86th pitch. Cash on the bottom and a base hit. That's going to be 2 on with 2 outs. And here comes Detroit. They get a single. So kind of a happy medium. Detroit gets a base runner and New York doesn't give up a run. Here's Ike Brown, 1 for 2. This is huge. 2 on, 2 outs. Bottom of the 7th. High and fouls it off. Here in Tigers Stadium in Detroit. Game 3. The winner will play Oakland. The loser goes home. Oakland will host the series. The pitch. Swing and a miss there. That's going to be 0-2 with 2 on, 2 outs. Ike Brown. On the ground and a base hit. They might score a run. They're going to pick it up. They're going to throw home, and it's going to be 4-1. Ike Brown, an RBI. Ike Brown looking good. Oh my. Kekich right now, is he going to be gone? He is. The tying run is at the plate. Let me repeat that. The tying run is at the plate. Waslewski. He's coming up, and this is going to be big for him. Gary Waslewski. He's got 4 pitches, and now here's Ed Brinkman. If Brinkman can get on, you got the top of the lineup. Brinkman fouls it back, 0-1. The first pitch was not a strike. He grounded out twice. They're going to keep the ball down low, so it's... They know he goes for the low ones. The 0-1 to Brinkman, a very big at-bat. Brinkman fouls it off again. It's going to be 0-2. The 0-2 bottom of the 7th inning, 4-1. No, 1-2. Weslewski. Struck him out, and that was big. Weslewski wins the battle, and it'll be 4-1. Look at Weslewski. He knows how big that is. And we go to the 8th inning. Incredible 4-1 game.
The second baseman,
Horace Clark now, 0 for 3. Top of the 8th inning, it's going to be a ball. Dean Chance is still in. This will be his 3rd inning of work. And this should be an out. The first batter he faced got a quick base hit, but that's been about it. 1 out. Horace Clark goes down. And that'll be Norm Cash with the unassisted putout. Thurman Munson 0 for 3. Hasn't had a great series. Oh, that's going to be a strike there. 0-1. Nobody on, 1 out. And a base hit. Four to 1, New York leads Detroit. Top of the 8th inning. 1 on, and that is Munson who gets the base hit. Bobby Mercer. Now Munson, that's his first hit in a while. And here's Bobby Mercer. 2 for 3, 2 singles for Mercer. And Dean Chance. That'll be fouled off right there, 1-1. Top of the 8th inning. Mercer is 2 for 3 today. If New York can get a run back, that's going to be huge. 4-1. Caters has all the RBIs. Right now, Mercer. High, and it's going to be foul. Bobby Mercer.
That's the ball.
It's going to be
Down and full.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 1 on. Roy White will be coming up next. The pitch. That'll be on the ground. Could be 2. 3, 6, 1, double play as Chance covers first to end the inning, and we go to the bottom of the 8th. What a defensive play. That is team baseball right there. Cash, the Brinkman, to Chance. Here comes Aurelio Rodriguez. Bottom of the 8th inning. You're for Detroit 1. And that's going to be a ball off to the side. The Yankees, McDaniel and Hambright. Four to 1, New York leads Detroit. Two and 0. And that's going to be a strike. Rodriguez is 1 for 3 today. Got a base hit the last time he was up. The 2-2 Aurelio Rodriguez. Did he go? They say went, but he doesn't go to first.
Second baseman,
Was that like a bunt that hit? I don't know. That was weird. Here's Tony Taylor. And a swing and a miss there. They need people on right now. Wesluski, he got the big out last inning. And Taylor quickly 0-2. There's so much limited you can do. The Yankees about to play Oakland. You wonder the 4 division series who's going to have the hardest. It's going to be 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's going to be 2-2. That's going to be on the ground, and will they be able to get there? The throw to first, he's out. 2 outs. What a play by New York. Yep. Got him there, and now here comes Roger Hambright. Roger Hambright will come in, and he's going to try and just shut things down in this inning. Here's Al Kaline. Al Kaline, 0 for 3 today, and that's going to be a strike. They're starting with first pitch strikes, first and second pitch strikes. So here they go. It's going to be bottom of the 8th, 0-1, 0-2. As Al Kaline, 0 for 3 today. The 0-2 pitch.
That's the ball.
It's going to be a ball over there. And again, that's going to be fouled off, bottom of the 8th. Bottom again, it's going to be 2-2. Kaline trying to get on. They want at least to run this inning. They knew they needed that as a goal. 3-2. Willie Horton will be up. He singled in the 4th inning. Detroit keeps getting runners now, but it's a little too late, as they always have a lot of outs, and he fouls it off. Bottom of the 8th inning, 2 outs, nobody on. Hambright's 8th pitch. Oh, he reached for ball 4, and this will be third to first to get the out. One more inning. We go to the 9th here in game number 3, and the score, 4-1 New York.
now pitching for the Tigers, number 36.
White-Alou and Swoboda, Joe Niekro. And he pitched for 2 innings. That was it in the playoffs. And here's Roy White. Here's Joey. Oh, what a catch, 1 out. Oh my goodness, Rodriguez Aurelio, what a catch there, 1 out. New York knows if they score a run, that's pretty much saying we're going to win. Struck out in the 6th is Felipe Alou. He's 0 for 3. And that's going to be a strike. So Joey, this is his first inning. There's brother Phyllis with Atlanta, Norm Cash, 2 outs. And here's Danny Cater. No, Swoboda first, then Cater. Swoboda is 2 for 3, 2 singles. He ended up scoring twice. Every time he was on, he scored. And Joey. It's going to be high strike 1, though. Strike again. That's going to be 0-2. Swoboda. High pop fly, and will it be able to be caught? Yes, it will, and we go to the bottom of the 9th. One more chance for Detroit. Horton will come up. Horton, Freehan, and Stanley, and they're going to try to get 3 runs. Here's Lindy McDaniel, and this is it. They won game 1 3-0, lost game 2 7-3. They've been scoring about 3 runs a game. Today they have 4 runs. Here's Willie Horton, and the first batter is always the biggest. Lindy McDaniel, the closer, trying to get the save to get him to the next round. The pitch, that's going to be down low for a strike. Sinks it in. 1 for 3 today. Low ball 1. Can Willie Horton get on? They want to get on. Nobody on, nobody out. Bottom of the 9th. That's going to be a base hit, maybe. No, it's a line drive out. 1 out. Willie gets out. I thought it was going to drop. And now Bill. A run the last time. It's going to be ball 1-0. Lindy McDaniel. 3 in now. That'll be on the ground. Fouled it. Oh, by inches. 4-1 New York leads Detroit. Bottom of the 9th inning. Freehan is 1 for 3. High, and will that hit the ground? Let's see, it will. And Freehan is deep, and it hits the wall. So that's going to be maybe second base, ending the double play threat. So Freehan is on second. Now they need 1 more so they can get the tying run up. I thought for a second it might have been out. Either way, it's just as good. And a hard hit. So now McDaniel against Stanley. Stanley's 0 for 3. Low ball 1, 1-0. The good thing is, it's better than a single. You can't get a double play. Here's Mickey Stanley, lined out in the 7th. They need 1 person on so they can get the tying run up. Bottom of the 9th. That's going to be a strike. It's going to be 1-1. Mickey Stanley. For Detroit, he's up. He's 0 for 3. Stanley, and fouled that one off. 1-2. So here's Mickey against McDaniel. McDaniel trying to get a big second out. 2-2.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
There you see everything in the background. Detroit has left more runners on. 6 of them to New York's 3. High pop fly, should be able to get it. Let's see. Underneath, had to go back a little bit. And there's a catch. It's going to be 2 outs. So they need Norm Cash to get on. And then after Norm Cash, 2 for 3 with 2 singles. There's 2 outs. New York is 1 out away from going to the divisional round. And that's going to be fouled off. 0-1. Danny Cater's the hero. Norm Cash 2 for 3. And that's going to be
1-1.
ball 1-1. Trying to get on so they could get the tying run up. Detroit season almost over. Bottom of the 9th, the 1-1. On the ground and a base hit. This game will continue. They're going to throw home, though. There's no need, but he's safe, and it's 4-2. Norm Cash. Oh, it was too close for anything. And Cash has 3 singles on today. Now Jim Northrup. He's the tying run. Bottom of the 9th, 2 outs. He's the tying run. Northrup. And that'll be a strike right down the middle. Jimmy, they have 1 shot. 2 outs, 1 on. Bottom of the ninth. You knew you had to work to try and beat them, and this is what it looks like. Bottom of the ninth, the 0-1. Northrop, this might be it. They go. It'll be second to first, and the New York Yankees move on to the divisional round. The gamble with Northrop didn't work, and the New York Yankees move on to play Oakland in the next round, and Detroit's season is over. Detroit's season is over, and look at the Yankees. They're loving every second of it. And the New York Yankees, look at their celebration. They go to the next round. 4-2 your final. Cater 2 for 3, a home run, a double, and all 4 RBIs. Svoboda 2 for 4. Mercer 2 for 4. Munson 1 for 4. Freehan went 2 for 4. Had a double and scored both runs. Freehan scored both runs. Norm Cash 3 for 4 and RBI. Ike Brown 2 for 3 and RBI. And Northrop ended it. Lindy McDaniel with the save. Les Kane with the loss. He went 5 innings. Mike Kekich, 6 2/3. There's the New York Yankees right there. 2 for Svoboda. Cater, unbelievable, but I don't think they played as well as you would think. Kekich, he didn't want no walks. I don't think they walked anybody all day. Cash with 3 hits, Freehan with 2. Nobody walked anybody. And that was Detroit. So here we go. That's the Yankees. Kekich, McDaniel, Hambright, Waslewski. And for the Tigers, Kane, Necro, Chance. And that's what they had. The batters. Here are the Tigers. And right now, they just did not get a chance. I mean, there were a couple people that really did well. Edster 3, good to see ya. And Edster 3. Oh, yeah. This is 1972. I never heard of Danny Cater before this game. He might have just been over, and you can see Cater. My goodness. A home run and a double. You can see those two in the same areas. Sometimes the people that you don't worry about, you just, the scouting report, you just, it's just, how should I say, it goes by you. And there it is. It's Kansas City. We'll play Baltimore. Baltimore is the first seed, Oakland the second. The Yankees are going to have to play a lot better to beat Oakland. I think more consistent. Pittsburgh's going to have trouble with St. Louis. I really think they're going to have trouble. And San Francisco and the Dodgers. Oh, I wish MLB The Show did exactly what NBA 2K did. I wish MLB The Show did what NBA 2K did and had eras. And had eras of the fight. If any game needed eras, it would have been baseball where, you know, you do all that. But Edster, I'm in Cambodia right now, so my times are always going to be wonky. You see, San Francisco is going to host the Dodgers at Candlestick. The Pirates in St. Louis, Kansas City, Baltimore, Oakland, and New York Yankees. And when you take a look at these games, Boston is done. as I want to just make sure I save everything. Hold on. Well, I mean, you take a look here, and you have a look. The next games that are going to show up, New York and Oakland, LA and San Francisco. Here's our schedule. New York, Oakland, LA, San Francisco. And then it's going to be Kansas City, Baltimore, New York, Oakland for Game 2, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, Game 1, and LA, San Francisco there. I mean, that's going to be the big thing. Kansas City, Baltimore. I don't know. In the next series I think Baltimore is going to, I mean, they got too much consistency. If somebody slumps, somebody's going to pick it up. I think Oakland the same way. I think New York's going to give them trouble. But I think St. Louis and Pittsburgh's going to be a great freaking series. And LA and San Francisco. I think the National League is going to probably have the better series. Well, the American League I think they're going to have maybe 2 blowout series. It would really shock me. It would shock the heck out of me if Kansas City or New York won the series there. But in the National League, I could see St. Louis playing LA in the 72 finals. That's going to be it for us today. Have a great day, and we'll see you later.